All right, welcome to Cooking with Gunther's Gourmet. This is our second episode. If you didn't see the first one, we made pizzas. We made a Chesapeake Bay style crab pizza, and we made a tropical style mango pizza, like our YouTube page, and you can watch that one. This is only our second episode, so you don't have to binge watch. There's not a lot to catch up on. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to feature our spicy chipotle pepper and smoked corn salsa. This is one of the first flavors that we've come out with. What we're doing with the Cooking with Gunther's Gourmet is we're using the Gunther's products, which we have a line of salsas, marinades, salad dressings, Bloody Mary mix and dips, hot sauces. But we're just, instead of just a chip and a dip and a chip and a dip, we're using different ways. You had a pizza in the last episode. This one we're making soup. We're going to do our smoked corn and chicken chowder. So everybody's got a chicken from the big box store. Everybody's got something, you know, from your grocery store. Everybody buys those. They're great. They're like $5 and they're made well. So what we're going to do too is we're going to add a little bit of potato. We have the salsa. This is a quart of chicken stock. Bought it store-bought, low sodium. You can always add more salt. You can't take it out. Get the low sodium. We have a little piece of our bacon left over from the last video. We're going to use that again. And then we have some garlic and butter here for the bread. And we'll just throw some chicken in there. So first thing we're going to do is peel this potato. And you're probably going to have to look at my backside for 1 second. So we're just going to do small diced potatoes in here. We're going to blanch them off real quick on their own. And while we put the roux together to make the chowder. So we have the potato. We're going to dice this. First thing you want to do with your potato is you level it off so it doesn't roll. We level off all 4 sides, corner it off. We save these for fries. Nothing really gets thrown away. Everything has a dual use, but we'll save those for fries. So we can just square off this potato. We've got a nice square potato. It's gonna do a little bit better. And when you're cutting your vegetables, I use a boning knife on a potato because a chef knife, it seems to stick to the sides. When you're cutting your vegetables for a stew or a soup, cut them so they fit on a fork or a spoon. I'm sorry. Cut them so they fit on the spoon. You don't want them so big that they won't fit on your spoon. So we've sliced them 3 ways that way. We're going to make a small dice. You want them all kind of uniform, same size, or as close as you can. You don't want a giant chunk and a small chunk because they're going to cook at different temperatures. You'll have mushy potatoes and you'll have you know, just right potatoes, and you'll have, undercooked potatoes. So we're just going to blanch these off. These shouldn't take long because they're small. Now what we're going to do is we're going to thicken this, like I said. So we're going to make a roux. A roux is flour and butter. We're going to use about a 50-50 mixture. We have a quart of chicken stock. 3 ounces of roux will give it a very thin consistency. 4 ounces is a medium consistency. 5 is a thick. 6 ounces of roux will be more of a, sausage gravy. So we've got 2 ounces of butter, 2 ounces of flour. You don't want to brown the butter. We're just going to melt it. Don't want to get any color on it. And this is a thickening agent. You can use corn root, cornstarch, arrowroot. But what's going to happen is when it chills, you'll get that gelatiny thing like you get in Asian food. When you reheat Asian food, like you have a General Tso's chicken, the next day it's gelatiny. That's your arrowroot or cornstarch that you use to thicken it. A roux is great for soups, and there's an art to a roux. We're going to turn this down. And now we're going to add our flour. So be careful. It's constant stirring, constant temperature check. Constant, and you can always alter it a little bit as needed. Hopefully it'll thicken up a little bit more. We just got the flour in there. And I'm going to need a slotted spoon to check these potatoes in a second. These potatoes shouldn't take long. New potatoes are done. They're a little bit toothy, a little bit of a bite to them, but they're going to continue cooking in a second. So we're just going to pull them out, put them to the side. They'll continue cooking. The roux, we want to get all the lumps out. And this pot is really hot. So next time, I'm not going to pick it up without. What we're also going to work on now is a little bit of garlic butter. Yeah, so we've peeled a lot of garlic here. We're just going to chop it up. I'm not going to hand chop this. I do get lazy when it comes to the garlic. I'm going to throw this away. We've got a little small Cuisinart. And we're going to do a lot because we're going to do some more recipes after this one. We'll need the garlic. And your garlic is done. Just took 1 second. So we're going to go ahead and prep the bread. And this is, again, it's a little hot. I don't know if you can tell, but it's starting to turn to a nice brown. I think it's cooking. Now, what you want to do when you're thickening, we're just going to go another few seconds on that. You want hot roux, cold stock, or hot stock, cold roux. One has to be hot, one has to be cold. So we're just going to prep out. This is a little batard, which is basically a small French baguette, French loaf. All right, so we're just going to butter this bread. A little bit of fresh garlic. You can use garlic powder on here too. I don't like garlic salt. Again, it's just salt, salt, salt. Everything's got salt. We're just going to use a little bit of the fresh garlic's always a little bit better. But it's a lovely color. We cooked it out. The joys of editing. And now we're going to add the chicken stock. I think at this point, I'm going to switch to a whisk.
And what's the ratio of the stock?
We have about 4 or 5 ounces of roux to a quart of stock. It looks like this mixed well together. If it didn't, and there's a little bit of lumps in there, I would put it through a strainer. This is what I would recommend. This is an expensive piece of equipment, a little bit cheaper. This is a chinois. It's a very fine mesh. Again, we're trying to cook without having to spend a lot of money. But if you do enjoy the kitchen, I would recommend having a chinois. All right. So, I mean, this couldn't be a simpler recipe. We're going to take a little bit of the chicken that we had left over. We're just going to grab it, shred it. And this is what you're going to do with leftover food. This, other than the can of salsa, the spicy chipotle pepper and smoked corn salsa, everything's basically leftovers. We have leftover bacon. You can use sausage. If you've got some andouille or something, you can use a nice sausage in there. I mean, whatever you have. It's just a way to get rid of, again, it's a way to get rid of leftovers. So we're just gonna dice this up a little bit. Take the skin off. That will add a little bit too much fat to the dish. We're gonna get our bacon. Not a lot left over, but this is our house cured bacon. We make it here. I'm talking like I'm in a restaurant. I make it at home. Look to make this a video at one point. If you're on my personal Facebook page, I've been posting for years every time I make bacon. It seems to be a popular post. We're just gonna wait for that to thicken. We'll hit this in the oven for a second. Get some color on that. Try to get this up to a boil. And again, this is like basically a 15 or 20 minute meal. I don't know if you've ever watched Phil Hartman with the anal retentive shaft. I'm always cleaning. I don't like a messy kitchen. I don't like a messy cutting board, but we're going to do our best to keep it clean for you and clean for me so I don't go crazy. So that's basically it. What we're gonna do now is this thing comes to a boil. It should thicken a little bit. Once that thickens, we're just gonna add the salsa, the chicken, the bacon, and the potatoes, and we're done. Just bring it to temperature. It's starting to come to temperature, starting to come to a boil, and it's starting to thicken. Actually a nice color. All right, we're gonna go ahead and just add everything in. It's as simple as dumping it in there. Getting a nice color. I just turned the oven off. That's probably about done. We're just gonna add a little bit of the corn salsa. More corn salsa you add, obviously more flavor. But I'll just do the whole 12-ounce jar. How about that? But it's also gonna thin the soup out. So I'll give that a quick stir. It'll bring a nice color to it. We're gonna add our potatoes, which are 3/4 of the way done. Add chicken, you add as much as little. I wish we had more bacon, but we're just getting rid of leftovers. Put it in there. And we're gonna bring it to temperature. Looking to be a nice hearty soup. All right, so we're coming up to the end of this dish. While it's heating, I am one to clean. So by the time you're done with dinner, you don't have to clean. You can just put the dishes in the dishwasher if you have one, and you're done. We'll see if it needs some attention. It's got a good zing to it. Couldn't be easier. We're going to do a little plate presentation here for you. And again, I've gone for all kinds of different stores. And when I'm there, I just pick up different plates. You know, we can try different things. Let the knife cut. Long strokes, let the knife cut. Don't jam it in there. The knife has the teeth in there to cut. Got a lovely color. So we can hit it with a touch of parm if you want. Smoked corn, chipotle pepper, and chicken chowder.
So tell me, salsa and soup, where's that come from?
Just a different way to use it. You know, I mean, again, when I do food shows, you know, everybody says, what do I do? Do I just chip and a dip? How do I do it? I've had people not know how to use salsa with a chip and a dip. So, you know, we're just trying to come up with different recipes, different ways to use it. Again, it just adds flavor. It's easy. The flavor's already in all the jars. Most chefs eat out of the bowl they make it in or the pan. I like that salsa. I go through phases with the salsas. Last summer, I was eating that almost every day. It adds a nice warmth. The chipotle, which is a smoked jalapeno, adds flavor. The potatoes are good. The other thing that maybe I shouldn't have done is throw all the potatoes in there. What we can do is take the potatoes, put them in the bottom of the bowl, ladle hot soup over it, and it brings it, because now the potatoes are going to continue to cook, and at some point they'll become mushy. That's okay. They'll just become part of the soup and thicken it and give it another level of richness. If you make vegetable soup, always leave the peas out and just put them in the bottom of the bowl, put the hot soup over. Same with the potatoes. Yeah, this is good. It's simple, and it's a reason to eat garlic bread. So, end of episode 2 with Cooking with Gunther's Gourmet. Hope you enjoyed it. We can be found at www.gunthersgourmet.com. You can purchase anything you want on here. Our larger bottles are on Amazon. We only have 3 flavors on Amazon: the Bloody Mary, the tropical mango salsa, and the crab salsa. Everything else can be bought. If you're a retailer that wants to bring our products in and stock your shelves with it, call me at or email me at chefmike@gunthersgourmet.com. We'll get you all our wholesale information, get it on a shelf to you, and hopefully get the word out about Gunther's. Thanks for watching this. Look for our episodes. I think we're going to drop episodes every Sunday. Hit the subscribe button. Apparently there's a bell there too or something. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next Sunday. But also, I'm a chef. Every day you would go into work and there's a bunch of leftovers that you would turn into a special.